if you have any doubt at that particular point, you can unmute your mic and you can ask at the same time. Okay. I'll have prepared some slides and some coding files. Okay. I'll try to cover as much as possible from my side. Okay. So my appeal to all you is, if you have any question, you can simply unmute your mic and you can ask at the same time, so that it will be clear to you and it will be beneficial to all of us. Okay. So let us start. Let me share my screen. My screen is visible to all, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. So let's begin with the programming. Okay. So first question is, why Python and where do we actually start, right? So if you have any prior background experience in programming languages, so that you already know that programming is nothing but a proper syntactual code, okay, to perform some complex and specific task through machine, correct? Okay, so we will start with the installation of a Python. Okay, what you have to do is you just have to open your Google window and you just have to type Python. Okay, so the similar window will appear in front of you. Okay, so Python is an open source language, so we don't have to go for any crack or pirated version regarding it. Once you hit Python in a Google, okay, I'll put it down. Just click on the first link which appears, that is python.org. Okay, and there you just have to go to the Python section, download sections. Okay, so as per the windows of your choice, okay, you can select the particular version for Python. Okay, so currently I'm using Windows, or Windows is most popular one amongst the students. Okay, the another thing is Mac OS is also there. So what we can do is, you just have to click on the download Python. It will save one exe file. Okay, and once it is saved, you can simply extract it. Okay, so for the sake of a simplicity, I'm going to note down the steps over here later, so that it will be helpful for you to recreate those steps. Okay, if you have a system, you can try to run it simultaneously with me. If you have any hurdle, you can just pause me and you can ask your question. Okay, so first you have to go to this link, then go to download section, right? And in download section, just download appropriate version of Python. Okay, now after that, what steps you should reconsider, right? So if you go there and if you run this setup, okay, it will be opening such window in front of you. Okay, so now you don't have to choose, you don't have to change any settings, but there is a one small checkbox that you need to add. Okay, okay, that's great. Okay, just what I want to tell you, the what is the critical point over here. You don't have to change any settings. Okay, what you can do is simply you can just put it this add Python 3.02 path. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what is this path. This path is nothing but a system environment variable that we have currently on your own system. Okay, and this is going to be the crucial. I also installed the Python in my own system, so it will be a little bit difficult for me to reinstall it again, because that will be the conflict of versions. Okay, so just proceed it just like install now, and it will going to prompt you something. Okay, so how we should confirm it, that let me add it here, select checkbox, add to path. Okay, so now let's try to understand how we are going to ensure whether Python is properly installed in our system or not. Okay, so if you are using Windows, okay, if it is a less than Windows 10, so you can go through the run command. Okay, so it will be looking like something like this. Okay, once you run it, okay, it will give you one dialog box. What you have to do, you have to open a command prompt, and shortcut for that is cmd. Okay, once you run cmd, it will open one command prompt like this. Okay, what you can do is you just have to type python hyphen version. Okay, so it will tell you that if Python is installed in your system, then what version you are going to use it. Okay, so when I hit enter, so you can see that I'm currently using the Python 3.88 version. Okay, so why I'm telling you this, because right now in the current scenario we have the Python version of 3.10. Okay, so it not be the case for everyone. See, we cannot compete with the every time latest versions. Okay, so you have to stop at some particular point and you have to download it, right? So this command is running in your system. It means that you have correctly installed the Python in your system. Okay, I'm adding this to the notepad file which will be shared to you. Run commands to ensure Python is successfully installed. Okay, now after this Python, okay, there is one another command that we should check, that is pip version. Okay, so in the same command prompt I will run pip version. Okay, so this is also going to give me some value, that is currently I'm using the pip version of 221.01. Okay, so the question arises, what is pip? So pip is nothing but the Python installer package. Okay, so whatever packages we have, whatever third-party applications or whatever supporting libraries Python needed, okay, so that has to be installed with the help of a pip. Okay, because you can consider it as an installer media which supports the Python programming. Okay, so once you ensure this, okay, now the question arises where we would run these Python commands, or where we should install those, where we are going to run these codes. Okay, so there actually comes the concept of a IDE. Okay, so IDE is nothing but the software environment where we actually run our program. Okay, integrated development environment. Okay, so IDEs are of many type. Okay, so if I just want to give you some of the best IDEs of the industry. Okay, so there are Pycharm, Jupyter, okay, Spider, program for Python. There are many softwares which can be used as a IDE for Python programs. Okay, so this simply means if you have a Python program, you can run it on any of these softwares which is currently visible to you on your screens right now. Okay, but most widely used are Pycharm, Spider, Jupyter, and this VS codes. Okay, so these are what majorly used in the industry, but again, depending on your own need, someone might check like PyDev is there, Eclipse is there. See, these are multi-language platforms. So Eclipse is mostly or widely used in Java language. Okay, so depending on your need of a project, you can select your IDE. Okay, but mostly Pycharm and spiders are there to industry is using for their website or platform Python application developments. Okay, so apart from that, since these softwares or these IDs are quite heavy in the size and downloading performance, we are going to use one of the lightweight IDE so that we can use it to run our day-to-day programs. Okay, so we are going to use Jupyter Notebook with the simple command pip install Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so the simple command is there. Keep in mind there is a space between Jupyter and Notebook. Okay, and once you hit enter, okay, it will run some sequence of a code. See, what we have told here is pip is Python package installer, right? So we commanded that to install Jupyter Notebook. Now, of course, then there's a need to run simply, we just have to type Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so this will open the IDE which where we are going to run our programs. Okay, so let's say once I hit it, see, it's automatically opens your browser window. Okay, so see, this software doesn't present in your system. Okay, so it's an online connector where we are going to use our Python program and we can check the execution of our Python program. Okay, see, this is the Jupyter and this is the interface of a Jupyter. So we don't have any other separate software. Okay, for the sake of understanding, let me show you how Pycharm actually looks like. So it's quite a heavy software. So I'll recommend that till the next lecture, you can install it in your system. I have included the link in the notes. So you just have to click it and you can just download it. A Pycharm looks like. If this is one of the full-fledged Python code editor, okay. But right now, since we are running out of a time, today we are going to cover the basics of a Python language. Okay, so I'll recommend all of you to install this in your system so that in the next lecture you can get some hands-on experience on this Pycharm software and you will understand how actually code is written in the modular fashion. Okay. Sit. Okay. So this is opened. This is our web folder and this is the file. Okay.